Hey guys, it's Kevin from JazTime.com, and today we'll be doing a comparison between two different Audemars Piguet Royal Oak models. So here on my left, I have the AP Royal Oak, reference number 15400 ST.00.1220ST.03. On my right here, we have the AP Royal Oak Skeleton Openworked, which is reference number 15407 ST.00.1220ST.01. Of course, we'll have the link to the watches in the description below. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and break down this video into two separate parts. We're going to be talking about the pricing first, the retail pricing, the dials, bezel, case, crown, bracelet, clasp, and we're going to be talking about the movement towards the end of the video. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with the retail pricing. So these two watches, they are specific from the Audemars Piguet boutiques. So they're very high in demand and very, very hard to get. But if you can get your hands on one for the AP Royal Oak in the blue dial, you're looking at a retail pricing of $17,800 from an AP boutique seller. Or for the skeleton, you're looking at a retail pricing of $44,100. Of course, here at JazTime.com, we strive to have these, strive to be able to fill the order of getting you these watches, so you can check for the most up-to-date pricings if you're looking to get these watches now at JazTime.com. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in and let's talk about these dials. So two very distinct different dials, of course. The AP in the blue on my left here, the most standard AP Royal Oak watch you can get. It's got a blue dial, grand tapisserie being the square patterning that you see in the background, and you can see it sort of has that sunburst effect, as you can see edges of the dial being a little bit darker while some parts being lighter. So when the sunlight hits that, or any light in general hits that dial, you can kind of see that sort of glistening of that patterning all around the dial. Whereas the skeleton, obviously being true to its name, it's a skeleton of the watch. You can see the movement, the whole movement inside the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak for the open worked. And the reason why this is important for this watch is because it actually has a newer style movement that they wanted to display and showcase. And we'll talk about that later in the video. So besides that, hour markers, of course, larger on the standard AP, as we're not trying to showcase a skeletonization on this watch. So we have white gold hour markers with luminous fillings. Same about the hands. The hands are white gold as well with that luminous filling, which lets it glow for up to 8 hours. Whereas the skeleton has smaller hour markers. But instead of using white gold to fashion those hour markers, we're looking at a rose gold, or as AP likes to call pink gold. The hands are the same as well, in that pink gold with the luminosity filled, so same type of luminosity. Audemars Piguet name at the 12 o'clock position, where it's on the just the blue Royal Oak. It's in the sort of center of the dial, but it's at the 12 o'clock position as well. Besides that, for the configurations you can get these watches in, if you're not interested in the blue AP, you can also get it in the wired black or the newly released gray. For the skeleton, it only comes in a different style material. You can also get this in a rose gold material, where the whole watch is rose gold instead of the stainless steel. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the bezel now. So pretty much the same style bezel, nice sand finish on the frontal portion of the bezel, with hexagonal H screws. The screws are all nicely high polished to match with the high polishing on the side edges of the bezel. As you can see, that nice high polish on the side edges of the bezel. So it has this nice contrasting between that sand finish, the high polish, to really make more of an eye-grabbing face to the watch, as the differences in shine really bring out more of each other. Besides that, moving on to the case now, we're looking at the same style case and same sizing as well. So we're, from my index finger to my thumb, we're looking at a 41mm style case. So 41 millimeters from my index finger to my thumb. That's the diameter of the case for both watches. The thickness of the watch, as I shift it over here to its side profiles, looks almost about the same, but actually the skeleton has a little tiny bit more thickness to it, being a 9.9 millimeter thickness. So the AP Blue on my left, that one has 9.8 millimeters of thickness, whereas the skeleton has 9.9 millimeters of thickness here on my right. And that's really just there's small differences in just housing the movements inside the watch, as each movement is not so big. The movement in the skeleton being only 5.57 millimeters, and the AP Blue being around kind of that same size, mainly because it has the extra complication of the date. But the skeleton has not an extra complication, but it has what's called a dual balance wheel, and we'll talk more about that later. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the crown now. So the crown functions, same style crown, where it's a screw down crown having a water resistance for a watch of 50 meters or 166 feet once fully tied in against the case. However, the AP Blue obviously has one more function for the crown functions, and that's being to be able to adjust the date. And I'll go ahead and show you that function now. So unscrewing counterclockwise is how it's done. This is the standard position once the crown is fully unwound. And this is where you can wind the watch from 15 to 20 clockwise turns is all you need to get the watch started once more. Simply tugging out the crown to the next position will allow you to adjust that date. You can see just very easily, even very instantaneously, just as I just shift my finger clockwise. And of course, the final position allows you to set the time bidirectionally, and obviously stops the second hand for precise time settings, such as an atomic clock online. Pressing the crown back in will start the second hand, or the hack movement, once more. And like I said, you want to keep this crown nice and tight to keep that water resistance of 50 meters or 166 feet. Now for the skeleton, we have the same. Skeleton is basically the same, but you can actually see the stopping of the movement. So we're going to go ahead and actually show you that. So once again, standard position lets you wind the watch, and then when I tug this crown out, keep your eye out on the double balance wheel on the second hand. Bam! You can see that stop. So it's very, very cool. Set the time however you like the AP Blue, and then pressing the crown back in starts that balance wheel once more. Okay, and always make sure to screw the crown nice and tight in against the case. And that's not even for APs, that's just for any watch in general. Just always make sure you have the crown nice and protected against the case. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the bracelets now. So for the bracelets, pretty much similar style bracelets, beautiful tapering from the case to the first lugs of the bracelet. Helps it fit much more nicely on the wrist. The patterning throughout, very uniform, so it looks great throughout. The pattern is only broken up by the AP logo, and that's actually where you can find the clasp of the watch. So I'll just show you it with the AP Blue, as they are both the same class. So it's it's AP stainless steel deployment clasp, or referenced as a butterfly clasp, mainly because it opens up from both sides, as shown. Has the AP logo name embossed onto the clasp plate in a nice satin finish there. So that's how it looks opened up. And then once again, I'll show you that close. AP logo goes on top. There we are. There's a clasp hidden behind the bracelet. And you can even see they did the curvature of the bracelet too, or rather of the clasp, so it doesn't, so it fits very nicely on underneath your wrist. Okay. One thing to mention about the bracelet though, a small little detail that I like personally is that they have a nice little trimming of high polish all along the sides of the bracelet. And this is for both, like I said, this is for both bracelets. They're pretty much the same bracelet. The nice little high polish on the side of the bracelet really brings a nice little shine to the watch that some people don't really notice, but it's something that's kind of in the back of your mind. You don't really say anything about it, but it's there, and it actually makes it much more nice. Alright, so let me actually go ahead and move on to the movements of now. So we're going to start with the AP Blues movement. As this is a standard watch, I want to talk about the standard movement that AP uses. So on the back here, we have Exhibition case back. The Exhibition case back is a sapphire glare-proof window that allows you to see the movement from behind. For specifically the AP Royal Oak, this is a 3120 movement. Or apologize. Actually, yeah, that's correct. 3120. This is a 3120 movement. It is a total diameter of 26.6 millimeters. Has made up of 280 different parts for about 40 different joules, and has the functions of the hour, minute, and seconds hand, along with the function of the date as well at the 2 o'clock position, as I've shown you with the crown functions. Specifically, this solid 22 karat gold is a oscillator, which is when you have the watch on your wrist and you're walking around. That's what shifts around and keeps the watch going and continues to power the movement from when you're done winding it. But one thing I like to show is that on that monoblock oscillating weight, you can see that so I apologize, I know there's a little sticker on it, but that's the sticker for a brand new watch is covering the back of the case, so I cannot remove that. So you can see that the AP has the AP name right there on the middle of the monoblock oscillating weight. At the right and the left, we have two coat of arms, which is actually what makes up the AP name. So the Audemars Piguet, the Audemars, and then the Piguet, two different families. So we have two different coat of arms on that oscillating weight, which is really, really cool. Even though it does sit on the back of your wrist, it's just a nice little detail to know about. Besides that, the power reserve of this movement is a 60-hour power reserve. So meaning you can put this watch down on Friday evening, pick it back up Monday morning, afternoonish, and it'll still be keeping time just fine. Alright, now let me show you the skeletonized movement. So I'm going to show you from the front first. So obviously very, very beautiful style, beautiful style of movement. You can see the inner workings of the movement, the balance, the golden balance bridge at the 8 o'clock position, and that nice rose gold as well. You can see the jewel that centers it in the middle. Also, one thing to mention is that balance wheel. So there's something very important about this balance wheel, and I'll show you from the back now. So from the back, so there's two, it's a dual balance wheel which fixes two balance wheels to a central pinion. Each wheel has its own hairspring and its own weighting, which helps increase the precision and the stability of those balance wheels to that pinion. And how it works is that the balance wheels themselves work against each other to cancel each other out with their mass, and helps self-regulate the movement in terms of creating a sort of equilibrium. So it makes a very, very precise watch. Previous models, what they try to do is they try to use a single balance wheel with two different hairsprings, which the hairsprings help the balance wheels move, but the pushing of one hairspring would push it over to the left a little bit or a little bit to the right. So they try to do two hairsprings that try to counteract each other and hold that balance wheel in place without having that extra small minuscule movements. So the movement itself was still precise, but they wanted to do better, and what better was for them was, you know what, let's do two balance wheels, two hairsprings, and have them counteract each other, which makes this incredibly stable movement. But as impressive as that movement is, so it's a very, very precise movement. Power reserve doesn't match the power reserve of the standard AP watch which was a 3120 movement. This is a 3132 movement, and it only has a power reserve of 45 hours. 45 hours, meaning that you can put this watch on a Friday evening, pick it back on a Sunday afternoon, it'll be keeping time just fine. The other detail I wanted to mention is that the oscillating weight is made out of the rose gold. It has the AP, but instead they skeletonized where the coat of arms would be, so you can see more of that movement from behind as well, which is a cool little detail. So just a small little difference there. Alright, so let me actually go ahead and show you these watches on my wrist now. We'll start with the AP Blue. So, open up that deployment. Always remember, top first, and then the logo goes on top of that. And there's the AP Blue on the wrist. As you can see, that nice tapering really helps it on the wrist, makes it much more comfortable. And just, it's a very standard watch. Still absolutely looks beautiful. Alright, let me go ahead and show you the skeleton now. Okay, and there's the skeleton. Extremely unique watch. Just absolutely attention grabbing. Patterning of the bracelet, very beautiful. Okay, so if you're interested in either one of these watches for the lowest possible price, check out our website at JazTime.com. We have the lowest prices guaranteed. We offer a 1-year warranty. And if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at JazTime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.